craziest mythical morning moment you've ever had?
Good mythical morning.
I started feeling like I was having superpowers.
So how do you guys make money at this?
It's a pyramid scheme, really.
When they do a movie about Rhett Link, who should play you?
You know what? I'd be honored if Paul Rudd would step up to the plate.
Wow.
What do you guys see on the horizon?
The most exciting thing that we're thinking about right now,
Maybe one of the most inventive choices I've had.
Weird.
Hey family, it's Carlos Watson. Got a great show for you. Now today, two of the biggest YouTube stars on the planet, Rhett and Link. Now they are all kinds of funny. They're a great comedy duo. Started off as friends early in the game, doing kind of funny skits on the platform, but now they've got their own daily talk show called Good Mythical Morning. They've also got some of the best podcasts in the game, Ear Biscuit podcast, and now a new one called Ronstadt. And guess what? For their 20 million fans, there's no one better than Rhett and Link. Enjoy.
The Carlos Watson Show is brought to you by American Family Insurance.
Hey guys.
How you doing, Carlos?
Good.
Tonight, they're being honored for their groundbreaking internet show, Good Mythical Morning. With 6.8 million subscribers, Rhett and Link's morning show is the most watched daily show online.
So you guys have been buddies literally going back how far?
First day of first grade.
1984,
Wow.
Buies Creek, North Carolina.
Well, actually, Buies Creek is that way.
Welcome to Buies Creek. Literally, we're at the creek.
Yes. And,
Oh my goodness. We've released a turtle into the creek that was already probably hanging around the creek.
We were both being punished together. We were held in from recess because we were scribbling profanity on our desks.
Right. This is actually the origin story, why we call everything mythical, why Good Mythical Morning is Good Mythical Morning, why our company is Mythical Entertainment, because Miss Locklear, who was our first grade teacher, when she held us in, she made us color pictures of mythical beasts.
On the first day of first grade, we were both held in from recess, 'cause we were both writing profanity on our desks. We wrote beep and blank, our punishment was coloring unicorns, and that's when we became best friends.
So we were like, okay, well, let's take that mythical nomenclature and apply it to basically everything that we do.
So our fans are known as mythical beasts.
I read that you guys were serious engineers. You did incredibly well. You guys actually you guys walked away from good opportunities. Was that easy? Was that hard? Were you already making good money on YouTube by the time you decided to walk away?
I think we had the confidence because we had each other egging us on. And we had all, throughout our entire friendship, we had always tried things, even if that's like, hey, I'm gonna put my shoe in the school cafeteria lunch tray because that'll be funny. It's like, yeah, you should do that.
It wasn't funny.
When we moved out to LA, it was because we had the opportunity to host a television show called Online Nation, which was canceled very quickly after we came out.
I'm Stevie Ryan.
We're Rhett and Link.
I'm Joy Leslie.
The four of us pooled our shooting and viewing expertise.
So we can bring internet videos to your TV.
Online Nation. The first truly interactive TV experience in which viewers create the newest thing.
Just grab your cameras and see your videos here.
This show is far from ordinary.
That made it easier to make the leap because it was like, oh, we can host a television show out in LA? It's like, we have to say yes to this. We have to give it a go.
And our wives were very encouraging right from the beginning.
All right, craziest mythical morning moment you've ever had?
We were doing something where we were seeing if we could, how much caffeine we could consume in a very short period of time. And we consumed what was like the medical limit of the amount of caffeine you should consume in one sitting.
think twice before you have that 300th cup of coffee.
Good mythical morning.
And then I started feeling like I was having superpowers. Like I felt like I was tapping into people's thoughts.
Right now, they could be thinking this same thought as me. Well, a similar thought, but not the same thought exactly.
That's pretty deep.
So much so that I asked Stevie, who produces the show, to think of a number between 1 and 100. And I saw in my mind 7 and a 1 and put it together as 71. And then she said she had already written down 71.
I shall have my 2:30 coffee at 2:30 sharp.
And that's probably the best moment of my life, not just Good Mythical Morning.
I think the best Good Mythical Morning moment of my life is going to be the last time he tells that story. I'm freaking tired of it.
Be fearless! We can do it! I believe in you! We can do it faster!
Our home is the training ground for her dreams policy. Insure carefully. Dream fearlessly.
Now, what about in high school and in junior high school? Were you guys the class clowns?
In high school, we ended up running for office because they said if you run for office, you can
give a
speech to the entire school. I had no interest in actually holding any political power in our local high school, but we knew we could command the attention of the entire school.
I did not get elected, but I got what I wanted. I gave a speech and then no more duties.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
YouTube is really where you guys have made your bones, or do you think about other social platforms as being places that you guys have won at as well?
Other places now, but definitely YouTube is where we came up.
Yeah,
and still the bread and butter.
First thing that we kind of figured out, right? I mean, we really, when we were coming up early on, like we got on YouTube in 2006, so right after it had become a thing.
This is a masterpiece.
I wish it could stay this way forever.
Whoa.
Guys, really sorry about it. You know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Everything's okay, 'cause I'm on vacation. We spent 14 hours on that sandcastle. Everything's great, 'cause I'm on vacation. At least we're not back at our job, which is at an ice cream sandwich factory.
So how do you guys make money at this?
It's a pyramid scheme, really.
Yeah, so the biggest portion of it all is the ad revenue. And that kind of drives the whole thing, but slowly we've been able to build off of that, where sometimes we'll do something custom for a brand.
You know what I just can't get enough of?
What?
Honesty.
I know, right?
It's so refreshing.
For me, it's honesty or I'm not interested.
Totally.
That's what we need, man.
Yeah. We need more honesty in our lives.
Sometimes it's on YouTube, sometimes it might be on a different platform like Instagram or TikTok or something like that.
Where does this go from here?
We literally made a blood oath to create things together. So we've got some pilots that we're writing, that we're trying to get out into the world, while keeping everything else that we're doing going.
I think we thought that YouTube was the stepping stone to then get into a traditional project, the TV and film. And then we start seeing all these traditional stars trying to come back to YouTube and do something digitally. And we're like, well, hold on, we're already here.
Good.
Mythical morning.
Are you ready to be fascinated by some fascinating facial hair facts? Your head is inside of a thing with some snakes in it.
You can do anything you want.
I can't take him anywhere.
Talk to me a little bit about your friendship and partnership. Are you guys as good together as I'm seeing from the outside, or where are we in your relationship? If it is working, what works? And if it's not, what are the challenges?
Carlos, I'm glad you asked. It's actually not working anymore. It's like, this is probably the last interview we'll ever do. From a practical standpoint, just our instincts and the way that we approach problems and aspirations make us a good team. We work hard at our relationship too.
Yeah, I think there's a communication that is so important, right?
Yeah, what a great idea.
Sometimes there's a longer period of time between a conversation about us and our relationship, but we very rarely let it go for too long before something is built up that we don't address and have a conversation about.
What do you guys see on the horizon? What is the next Bitcoin, the next podcast, the next YouTube, whatever these next interesting trends are that maybe you guys are seeing before the rest of us?
I'm really excited about where things are going is the creator economy. There's so much opportunity for creative, ambitious individuals, duos, groups that are making their own way and creating a community. And there's so much power and fun
what we're seeing is we're seeing the dismantling of power structures, right? And we're seeing it at every level of our society. Those power structures being dismantled has manifested itself in the creator economy. It's like the whole GameStop thing, right? It's like that was about the little guy with a Robinhood account sticking it to the big guy, right? And what we're seeing with creators being able to build a media empire without really having to know any of the traditional gatekeepers. And the gatekeepers are scared,
What do you guys know about your audience? Because I'm sure there's layers to your audience.
It's all types of people, but I mean, our audience has grown up with us.
Hi, I'm Sage. And I'm Sarah. And we're from Laramie, Wyoming. Good Mythical Morning!
At first, it was a younger audience because YouTube was younger, and our content was geared a little bit younger. And then as we've gotten older, they've grown up with us.
Part of that has to do with the fact that we are parents. We are a couple of middle-aged guys, and so we're going to appeal to people who are middle-aged who can relate.
My body is peeling. I've totally ruined myself.
And we've got teenage kids. And so we kind of understand. We kind of understand the way they think and the kind of things that they want to see.
I watched you guys so much in middle school.
You watched us in middle school, but what about now, girl?
I just got back into you guys. I think you're real swell folks.
You just got back into us.
What we have found is that our most enthusiastic fans and the ones who show up at events and the ones who want to rep that Mythical merch, I'd say women definitely have the edge. Women tend to be less insecure about passionately, embracing something. I think guys can be a little bit like, I don't want to seem like I'm too into this.
Yeah. Us guys can learn from that.
What's the best advice you've either gotten or given about how to dream fearlessly and bring those dreams alive? Given that I'm hearing you, Rhett, say that you have to keep evolving, that you have to keep trying things, that you guys came into this with kind of a spirit of, I won't say innovation, but a spirit of experiment and trying new and different things.
We think on two lanes in terms of like where our dreams take us. And I mean, still our creative aspirations and then our business aspirations. So when it comes to our creative aspirations, we're still tapping into the dream we had back in middle school.
We're never going to neglect what we've been able to do. Be desperate. Have no option but it to work out.
I would say the second thing is, and then try everything you can think of.
Yeah.
Anything that we could conceptualize, we could put out there and you got immediate response. Now it might be small, but it was either, okay, that didn't work, or there's some promise here. You get a little bit of traction, you can build on it. We knew that for us, we played to our strengths of musical comedy and songwriting, and we knew that type of video would work in the ecosystem.
But I think the most exciting thing that we're thinking about right now, we've been doing this a long time, and we're both 43, or Link's about to be 43, and we're thinking a lot more about legacy at this point, right? So what is Mythical going to represent that's bigger than the two of us? We've had a lot of success in doing that and creating Mythical. I think it was an evolution over time, right? You put a lot into this and you want to make sure that you're getting it right.
Last year was, in so many different ways, was a transformational year, including the conversations around race.
Take your knee off our necks! Take your knee off our necks!
What, if anything, did you guys take away from that? And I'm not looking for any particular answer, but you guys have probably a particularly interesting viewpoint, having grown up on one coast, living on another.
After the murder of George Floyd, I do think there was a sort of a deconstruction from our very conservative Christian background that kind of played a role in this. I kind of wrote a letter to my former self who would have tried to analyze it in a different way and asked questions about, what had this guy done? And, what was this guy just trying to do? I could hear my old self saying some things and making some observations. And so I decided to, talk to that guy and say, listen, I know that you don't think that you're having racist thoughts. And I know that you're just trying to be practical about this. But if you just stop and put yourself in George Floyd's shoes and think about everything that led up to that moment, and not just everything in his life, but everything in the life of our country, this is going to make you think about this differently.
And wrestling with figuring out how we can be part of the solution and then not by default be a part of the problem. And learning that starts with learning more and listening more and saying, okay, I'm here to respond to that, and we're going to own where we came from and how we want to change, and talk to the mythical beast about that and say, okay, we're here and we want to be a part of this in a positive way.
I'm definitely an optimist in the end, but I know it's not easy, and so I am picking more and more people's brains all the time about what would work, what sort of things could we do that might get us to a different place. Hey, let me, can I hit you guys with a little bit of rapid fire? You guys mind if I throw a few things at you?
Now, we're from the South, so we talk and think slowly.
Yeah. We have the two of us.
But you can try.
Not at all. Your favorite book?
I take the Chronicles of Narnia as a whole. That was what got me into reading for fun.
All right, then I'm gonna go Lord of the Rings, baby.
Love it. Your karaoke song?
Hello.
Is it me you're looking for?
I'm Gonna Love You Forever by Randy Travis.
I'm gonna love you forever.
If you guys could have dinner with any person, dead or alive, who would you want to have dinner with?
And they better be able to cook.
Probably the first person to discover fire. I don't know if I would be able to communicate with this person. I don't know. Probably not, but I feel like
the dinner conversation is off the charts.
I could be like, you discovered fire? Well, hold on a second. Let me show you. And I break out a lighter and a sparkler, blow their mind.
I think I would say country music legend Merle Haggard.
This is my album collection.
Just Merle?
Just Merle Haggard.
That fire choice may be one of the most inventive choices I've had. That's a good one.
That's weird.
I like fire star. All right, when they do a movie about Rhett and Link, who should play you?
Well, Daniel Stern is too old now. But I've been told I look like him. I think they could use some of the technology they used in The Hobbit, and Elijah Wood could play me because we have a sort of a similar, buggy eyes.
This is a hypothetical question. You don't have to actually cast it. You know what? I'd be honored if Paul Rudd would step up to the plate.
Wow, okay.
I've gotten that comparison.
Someone was preparing a final meal. What would we do for you?
Okay, give me the burger from Shake Shack, but give me the loaded fries from In-N-Out. And throw in a hot chicken sandwich from Hattie B's. Bring it in from Nashville, baby.
Wow, so you're just putting
And a Diet Coke, because I want to be svelte as I'm going into the coffin.
I'm going that chicken and poppy seed and Ritz cracker casserole.
I love it. Hey, Rhett and Link, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys on lots of different levels. So thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
It's been cool to hang out.
Excellent. Rhett and Link. Crew thoughts. Take one. Margaret.
I remember them back in the day, just making funny commercials.
I didn't get to say it out loud, but I think they now have 100 people working for them.
So it was interesting to see how much they've grown. Now they're helping other creators.
So I had never heard of Rhett Link before. I'm not a big YouTube person, but I am now going to go back and watch their stuff. Their chemistry, their friendship, their relationship was really heartwarming.
I've seen them disagree.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's like watching The Best Marriage, of people just openly communicating directly without anybody getting offended, but there's still feelings involved, frustration, but not anger. It's amazing to watch them. They really are an incredible.
Hey, I really hope you enjoyed Rhett and Link. What good guys, interesting guys. I love seeing good friends together. Always reminds me of me and my buddies growing up. Otto, he and I were best friends when we were 7. I know those guys met when they were 6. Love seeing that. Love hearing about how their wives encourage them. Everybody needs an angel or angels in their lives, and Loved hearing that too. It was funny what Link said about there's nothing like mouths to feed to make you more creative and a better entrepreneur. Maybe that's true in their case, and really appreciated the good, honest conversation on race there at the end. Really appreciate what they had to share. Hey, listen, you know how it works here. If you want more of this good stuff, you can subscribe, get the good video every day. Also, remember the podcast is beautiful. Don't forget that. And tell your people, if you like this show, don't keep it to yourself. Sharing is caring. I'll see you soon.